Now we have the perimeter for our base sides completed. We're going to take a look at the scripts again and do a little housekeeping and add some settings to the settings menu here. So if we go into script settings, it is completely blank. We haven't added any of the settings here. So we're going to do that and add some global variables to our scripts. So the first variable that I want to add in there is this layer. That is what is being used here for the setting up of the toolpath parameters is set there. So whatever is called within the make polyline here, that is what is going to show up in the PartNester. So I'm going to make this a variable instead of a hard-coded text value there. So I'm just going to make up a name, and we're going to call that perimeter layer. And I'm going to go over into the main script, and outside of any subroutine, we're going to give it a dimension there, and then we are going to say that it is equal to perimeter. And saving that file, and now we have a layer name variable that is going to carry over into the settings over here. So if we want to change the perimeter to be cut, we could change it right here, making that save, coming back over into PartNester and doing a nest. We now not have perimeter cut here, but we have the word cut. So that is how to add the variable there. But what would really be nice is if we had the ability to add it to the script value. And we could do that fairly easily by putting in an apostrophe and at least 25 asterisks. And I'm going to put that side by side. And then we are going to put another comment right here that is going to be so giving it a comment of outside cut layer name with that variable name being inside of our commented asterisks. I'm going to put a couple more just to make sure that I got the correct number. Saving that. Now coming back over into PartNester, going to Tools, then Script Settings, we now have a way for us to change that variable name. So it is outside cut layer name. That is coming from what we comment above the layer name. So we did add some variables for the toe kick height. On our perimeter cuts, we have the toe kick height and toe kick depth. I'm going to do the same thing. Put that inside of those parentheses and give it a comment. And we'll call this one. So that is on the outside cut subroutine, and we have our variables here that are being used to set the toe kick height or that notch for that toe kick. Going save. So if I did that correctly, when we come back into the script settings, we now have a variable name or settings with those variable names. How this works, and this is another reason to use external script files for individual parts, because we have the script name, base sides, and then the subroutine that these variables are used in, which is outside cut. And we have the toe kick height and the toe kick depth. So we could change that now by changing that to 4, making the save. Then when we re-nest, we will see that that toe kick height is no longer 6 inches, but it is 4 inches. Could do the same thing for the depth. We go 4 by 4. We'll save, close, and re-nest. And there we go. So again, what we have done is created global variables that are including that in the settings. Now I'm getting a message here that this file has been modified external from my editing software. And yes, it was. That was from changing in the settings files. And there we have our 4x4 toe kick with our settings. So when it got saved, it does save, and we lose the indentions and the tabs there. So I'm just going to set both of those in. We're going to get the same message here. So we now have global variables to be able to change the perimeter cut layer, that we could then use that layer when we start creating other parts, the bottoms, the tops, or any perimeter cut. We will then be able to use this variable to have them all get placed onto the same layer name. So when we're setting the toolpaths, we're able to calculate based on that layer name and have them all be the same and consistent. So with the sides done and the perimeter cuts done, the next steps will be to add some shelf holes, and then we will get into some dados. So that is it for this video, and we'll see the others in the next video.